Welcome to my first version of everyday stretches for everyday people. So this is not a yoga class. This is basically a little talk about a thing, and then I'll show you what I was talking about. So this first one, I was thinking about what you would do after a long walk, whether it's up and down hills or just here in Golden Gate Park or wherever you are, right? What would you do after a long walk? So here's the thing. Often we pay attention to our feet and our calves, maybe our hips a little bit, but we ignore the upper body. So I recommend doing something with the upper body. So moving your head around a little bit so you can stretch the neck. I'll show you that. Some shoulder stretches. So it's just a little bit going down, and then in the part of the body where you feel the most stress, I don't like that word, the most work from the walk, that's where you want to pay a little bit more attention. But not in the way where you start to push. Like you're not trying to force a stretch, you're just spending a little bit more time there, or maybe breathing deeper or something like that, or doing it in sets. That's not a bad idea also. So if it's your hips and they're really bothering you, do the stretch for a little bit and then pull away, wait, and then maybe do your arms and then do the stretches again, okay? Don't leave out ankle circles. Even with your shoes on, you can just do figure four and just, if your feet are dirty or whatever, your shoes are dirty, you don't have to use your hands. Like, just do the ankle both directions. Don't leave it out. If you can take your shoes off, or when you do take your shoes off, make sure to get into the toes as best as you can, flexing and pointing. So I'm at the park and I'm going to do this demo. I'm not showing you that because I'm not taking off my shoes. So you'd flex the foot and then you'd, point the foot. Flex and point. Get the leg straight, move the ankle. That's when you take the shoes off, after you're done with your day. So let's say you went on a walk in the middle of your day and you're not taking your shoes off. You can do these stretches that I'm going to show you with your shoes on, because I'm right here at the park. I'm just going to do them on a picnic table, and you could do that too, or a bench or something like that. So everyday stretches for everyday people are supposed to be simple things, nothing where you're trying to push or extend into the deepest place because you haven't really warmed up. You've just done a thing like a long walk, or there'll be some for travel, right? Okay, hang on. All right, let's get started. Find a comfortable seat, sit up nice and tall. Hopefully your feet can be planted on the earth. Take your right arm and curl it around your head and lean your head into your shoulder as you lean a little bit to the side. Don't yank on the head. That's not a good idea. And then go ahead to the other side. When you do come up, you're using your shoulder to lift your head upright, so you don't have to lift the head after such a stretch. And then to repeat, we'll add on. Curl, and then the opposite arm reach away at an angle. Keep the stretch as long as you are holding the head to the side. So the arm stays stretching out to the side. Use your shoulder to come back up, and then go ahead to the other side. There's an extension. It's diagonally down, okay? Diagonally down. You can see that nice long line that I'm creating there. And then for our next move, take your right arm around in front of you, keep it straight, and then take your left forearm and catch your right forearm. So try not to go to the joint. It's bone to bone, okay? And then turn a little bit to the left. And then come back to center and repeat with the other side. Keep the arm straight, catch forearm to forearm, pull the arm closed, and then a little bit of a twist. Shake out the hands and the arms, keep the spine up tall, and now take your right arm to your left knee and do a little open twist. You can grab a table or the bench or wherever you've found to work with, okay? And then go ahead to the other side. Keep these things simple. We're just giving mobility, and use the table or the bench or whatever. You need a little bit of help here. It makes these things a little bit more possible. Now for this next one, you're going to put your foot somewhere. I don't know where you are, but you can see what I chose. And so my right leg is straightish and the back foot can be flat, or you can be up on the ball of the toes. And then I'm bending the front knee, coming forward like a lunge, and then bending the bottom knee, and then rotating back again to straight legs. So move forward, back leg is straight, front knee is bent, bend the back knee, and then draw both legs straight, hips back, spine long, and then a little bit of a cat style pose here. You can get a stretch. When you move to neutral, when you move forward, they'll come to neutral. Sorry for the tongue tie. And then for the other side, it's the same thing. I just moved over there so you could see. Use the table to help you extend the spine, keep the spine long, and do make sure, you see how I had to move my foot, make sure you feel like you can actually bend the back knee. Otherwise, this doesn't work. You might need more length than you think. And the front foot, when I bend the knee, I'm definitely giving my Achilles tendon a little bit of a stretch there, okay? Do this a couple of times. You can do 2 or 3 like I did, or maybe more. Don't forget the little cat-cow thing I did on the other side. And then from here, we're going into a different thing. Now, depending on where you are, it might take a little bit to arrange this. You see how I had to rearrange my legs by leaning forward onto the bench. You're basically doing a pigeon style pose, so you don't have to turn your knee all the way out. You can keep the foot close. And the back leg, I'm doing a straight one, but you can keep it closer and leave the knee a little bit bent, depending on how comfortable you are. When you do these things, make sure you're not actually hurting your shin on the bench just because you're trying to stretch the back leg or the hips, It's not worth it. Find somewhere else to do it if the bench or table you're near hurts. And you see how to hop the back foot a little bit forward to make that work out. It's actually kind of a fun move. And then from here, I'm going to do a very similar thing. I'm just looking for a higher position. From here, I'm looking for height from my standing leg up my spine all the way to the top of my head. And I'm not really leaning into any stretch. Now, that's me personally. Where you are, you might have to arrange this in a different way. Please make it work for you in the location you are in. If the leg feels like it has a lot of weight pressing down into the place you just put it on, use your hands like you just saw me do to lift it back up. There's nothing wrong with that. This has nothing to do with your personal flexibility or mobility. You're trying something new. So, maybe don't be too pushy. Just try it out. You take a few breaths there and you come down so you can see it easily on that side. Okay, now a figure 4. So your left knee is bending like chair pose. Cross your right ankle over and flex the foot. And you can see here I'm hopping back so that I can really lengthen my arms and my back and my spine. You might not need to hop back that far. Make it work for you. There's no science in the amount of hops I took. Where the ground is a little bit uneven and wet too, just so you know. You want to be able to extend the spine, you want to be able to breathe, and you want to be able to keep the stretch in your hip, even if the knee isn't quite as wide as mine is, okay? And then to make it work on the other side, you again bend the knee so there is a little bit of a table there. It's like chair pose, okay? And then get the extension. You can see I'm gripping the table, not for dear life, but to keep the arms extended in an integrated way. I'm gripping so there can be a pull and a little bit of a push. To come up, lift the spine first and then step down. Elbows on the table. Again, make sure it doesn't hurt. This is very important. Go far enough onto the table or bench where your tricep is on there versus just the elbow joint. You can have the hands clasped or press them flat and then extend the spine. You might have to walk the feet back and test it out a few times. And you want to be able to lower the chest down a little bit to stretch the underarm and extend the spine. And then turn around, put your hands on the bench or table, and walk the legs and feet forward so that you can have straight legs at an angle. You can do this at a variety of inclines. I could have gone further out, but I chose not to today. And then from here, we're doing kind of a seated eagle. So put your bottom down on something. You can cross your right knee all the way over or go back to figure four. If you're tired of figure four, I get it. And then it would be the opposite elbow on top, or repeat the shoulder stretch that we did earlier in our seat. Both are possible. Don't do the twist if you are not seated on something. It will be a little bit funky. Shake the arms out. Make sure you're shaking the muscles off of the bone. Shake the hands. Let the hands flop around like you're a kid. Shake them out all the way. You can move more than I am here, but I really did just stick on the arms. Come to a stand. Inhale, reach up, touch the hands above you, and slowly fold by bending the knees. You can clasp the hands behind you like I am here. If that's not possible, maybe you have a towel or something you can grab onto instead. Otherwise, have the elbows in front of you and hold them. And slowly come back up to stand, and inhale, reach up, and again, slowly clasp the hands. And from here, spine long, chest forward, and a slow bend. Bend the knees, let the arms go overhead. Again, if your hands are clasped or you're using a towel. Slowly come up. And again, do these as much as you'd like. You see the arm rotation here. When you're lifting your arms up, have the palms facing down until the height of the shoulders, and then turn the palms up to touch each other as you rise. It's just a variation, okay? Do any of these that work for you. Shake it out, breathe.